Hold on, guys.
10 out of 10, humble, super chatted $50.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Women used to keep other women in check with wisdom and sometimes shame. That is sorely lacking in the West these days. Older/wiser women don't do enough to keep younger, more naive, narcissistic women in check. Men have become soft and weak too.
Yo, thank you for the TTS, man. Really appreciate it. Well, I mean, there's a different order to the world now. We're in, I guess, a new world order, so to speak. So let's bring it back to high value really quick. So you were saying something about kind of the original was like, I think, just a regular soup chat.
Yeah.
Trying to find it here. Let me see if I can find it. Well, so and I'm not saying this to criticize you, but you know, based off of like your appearance on the last show, I think you're gonna give your guy a lot to wrestle with, like, because you're a little bit combative, and I don't think a lot of men like that.
Well, I think honestly, like when you're in a relationship, you shouldn't just want like a very submissive person that isn't going to like help you grow. A woman helps you grow. A woman will challenge you pretty much, and it's trying to make you better. But I feel like it's just very submissive. Like if you're in a relationship and you're just like the head and you're like, oh, I gotta say in this, and the woman doesn't. I think that's very unfair. I think it's really important to like compromise and for both people to communicate and express the way they feel. But I don't think the man should just be like telling the girl what to do in the relationship. I don't think that's right.
Well, do you want a leader?
I think so, maybe.
Well, because I feel like you can't have the best of both worlds. Like if you want a guy who's a leader, in other words, a guy who takes initiative, because a lot of women will say, I want a guy who has a plan, who knows what he's doing. You know, for example, for a first date, a lot of girls, and I'll see this on dating apps, they say, I don't want a guy who asks me what I want to do. They were like, meet here, this time, this place, be ready then, like all that stuff, right? So you don't want that?
Personally, no.
Yeah, same.
Well, I mean, I feel like most college relationships are typically like, come over. There's not like...
No substance.
There's not... I mean, I could be wrong, but everyone's different. But... The big thing is that men want peace. And okay. You disagree with that?
No, I don't.
Oh.
I don't.
It's fine if you do. Just you laughed, so
No. Yeah.
It's okay if you disagree.
Well,
I'm not going to be
because who
upset.
doesn't want peace in the relationship?
Yeah,
you want to be safe
peace.
And you want to feel loved by that person, and like if you're like always fighting, then like why be with that person?
But I mean, is that a common trope? Typically men don't nag women, for example. You don't often hear men nagging women.
My ex, he would always fucking nag all the time.
Don't slam on the table.
Sorry, but
and
yes, men do nag.
I want to give, and I feel like my previous comment, I do want to kind of give you some credit. When I say you're combative, I mean, obviously you've been invited on a podcast to debate these issues. So, you know, obviously the way that you or anyone else on the panel conducts themselves in this specific environment is going to be to some degree different than how they conduct
Alvin
themselves
Sam
with a partner.
$49
Thank you, Alvin, man. Thank you. Shoot me a DM.
Nanny, you can't expect to be with a high-value man without him enforcing his standards. He will put you to work if you want him to provide. HVMs do not have tolerance for your incompetence. You struggle to answer very basic, fundamental questions.
So, yeah, I mean, by the way, Alvin, thank you, man. Shoot me a DM on Instagram, whatever. So, obviously, the way that someone is going to engage when intentionally invited on a debate format like this is going to be different than how one conducts themselves with a romantic partner, for example. Like, the way I'm discussing these topics with you is not particularly how I would, for example, conduct myself when I'm with a partner, for example, or with a girl I'm dating. Frankly, these sort of topics are the last things that I want to talk about with a romantic partner. But but I do sort of get the impression that, and perhaps it's in some ways it's good. I think being disagreeable for example, if you want to be successful in business, that's a trait that you need to gather. However, I think when it comes to relationships, it's not something that men want or look for, because the biggest thing that you can bring a guy, the biggest thing, don't forget looks, is if you can bring him peace. That is the biggest thing. Because, like, for example, a guy who's really, let's say he's very successful, he's going out into the world and it's a struggle. Business is fucking hard. And if he makes a lot of money, and maybe some of you girls here don't really care about that, maybe at some point you will, especially if you want children, finances are going to become a much bigger factor for you as you get a bit older. But we're already combating with the world, going out there fighting in the business world, in the corporate world. The last thing we want to do is like have to come and contend with our partner. We want our partner to be our peace. So some people may disagree on that, some people may agree, but I think that's the biggest thing that a girl can bring to a relationship is peace. One of the biggest things anyways. Go ahead.
Well, I believe in like a relationship, there's roles, and I feel like, and nowadays we've forgotten these roles.
Can you speak just a tad louder?
Sorry.
You're
I
fine.
have a loud voice and I didn't want to overpower anyone.
You said you're a Christian?
Yeah, I am.
Shout out to you.
Thank you. I think that with these roles, God gave these roles to us. The man's supposed to provide and protect, and we're supposed to submit to them. And that doesn't mean that they can be a person that just tells you what to do and you have to do it. I mean, there's still conversation within that. And so you're supposed to give 100% into a relationship, and they're supposed to give 100% into the relationship. And it's not 100% with both, like, it's not just one role and you both are playing 50 and 50. Excuse me. You're not putting 50 and he's putting 50. He's putting 100% in his role and you're putting 100% in your role. And that's how you keep peace, because he provides. And I'm not saying you can't make money, blah, 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 blah. I'm not saying that. But he should still be the sole provider and take care of you and protect you, because that man is going to protect you and your children and keep bread on your table, and you can help out when you can. But, like, our job is to submit and to help him to become the best version of who he can be. And he will help us be the best version of us. But we still have to submit.
Okay.
Do you have a response to her? Before I have you come in, do you have a response?
That's her opinion, but I think everybody, like maybe your husband is that way, but there's a lot of guys that aren't that way either. And
That's the problem.
But
How is that a problem?
Okay, who should
Those
pay?
guys are subscribed to your OnlyFans.
Who should pay on the first date?
I guess the man.
Okay, well, you want a man to adhere to his more traditional gender roles there. I want to give you guys an opportunity
I feel like
to come in.
I am a pretty traditional person, other than like I
OnlyFans.
have OnlyFans. Like, I don't post nudes on there. Like I said, I'm just trying to make my money. And I feel like I am pretty traditional. I feel like in a relationship I am, at least. Like, maybe you guys can't see that right now, but in a relationship I think I am pretty submissive or whatever. I don't know if you guys can't tell, but I think I am.
I think it's just the way that you have gone about the conversations and disagreed about, a lot of the topics that have been talked about. And I think you mentioned something about being not having to be submissive, and you said something negative about being submissive.
That you didn't listen to your mom, your dad, any man. You do you.
Yes.
That's what you said. So
I think that's what makes us, it makes everyone see you as someone that's not traditional or even
By the way,
I think if
traditional.
I really, really, like, if I love the person, I want to be in a relationship with them. And I'm saying this because I feel like when I like somebody, I love them and I would do anything for them. And I don't know, like, I don't know how to answer this, to be honest. I feel like I need to experience this more. I haven't been in a relationship in a while. So
are you ready to submit to someone? Like, if you are looking for a relationship,
I'm not
would
looking
you be
for a relationship.
okay?
I feel like we're trying to
Why not?
convert.
Yeah.
convert.
You guys want me to be in a relationship?
Well, I hope that you don't feel like we're dogpiling on you, but and I do. It's difficult because on one hand, I do invite people on the show to basically engage in a conversation and in a debate. So on one hand, I don't know if it's fair for me to characterize you. So I think there's been perhaps a few moments in the show where there's been a bit of combativeness, but I don't know if it's fair to characterize you as combative, because we have intentionally invited you on what is essentially a debate show about dating, and like I said already, the way you conduct yourself in this environment may very well be different than how you conduct yourself in a relationship, much in the same way that we're all sort of actors. We're all actors in the sense that the way you conduct yourself in a classroom, for example, when there's someone of authority, a teacher, is very different than when you conduct yourself amongst your friends, or the way you conduct yourself in front of your parents, for example. Go ahead, you wanted to come in?
I was saying maybe she feels a little bit, not attacked, but
Oh.
kind of out of place.
Jacob_W donated $50. This short-term gain will last until it doesn't. You age out of your market. You will be independent until you're not. All you'll be left with when you're older is yourself and the fact you willfully closed all opportunities towards a relationship.
Yo, Jacob, thank you for the super chat. Do you have a response to that? I want
No,
you
you're gonna
guys,
lose
I
the
want
money.
you two to come in, because maybe you guys have her back a little bit, or maybe not, I don't know, but, oh, hold on.
Frankie K super chatted $50. A high-value woman is considered a homemaker, agreeable, submissive, pure, loyal, honest, feminine, and brings her man peace. Few men who know their worth would be okay with his woman selling herself on the internet. Ov is a huge L.
You got to respond to these. Go ahead.
I don't know what to say. Like, they're just hating. They're losing their money hating, because I don't care what they have to say. I'm gonna do me. I'm single. I want to make my money.
Hot girl winter.
Yeah,
Is
hot
it-
girl.
is it
It's
spring
been
coming
hot
up? I
girl
don't
summer
know.
for a while.
It's been hot girls. All right.